Good morning, APUSH. I just wanted to get you a quick little video update about what's going on with the AP exam this year. So I'm on the College Board website here. We're going to click this up-to-date information. It's going to take us to another page. SATs canceled. We'll come down to information here for AP students. And all sorts of information is here. Now I'm going to run through some of the most important for you. Number one, test dates. Important testing information for APUSH. All of your other AP exams will be here too, but for APUSH, it's Friday, May 15th. That's later than what we were planning on, so that gives us more time to review on Google Classroom. So make sure you're staying up to date with that through Remind or email. We're going to be taking the exam on Friday, May 15th at 1 p.m. They're going to send you a one-time access code through whatever email you use to register for College Board for AP Classroom. So make sure that when you click that code, you're accessing the test through whatever device you're planning to take the test on. Okay, so if you have any problems with technology or internet connectivity, you're going to want to come here to this website. It's cb.org/tech, and you're going to fill out this information. They're going to get in touch with you about what they can do to make accessing the test easier for you. If you can't test on the testing day or time, then the makeup exam will come down here to where it says AP US History. The makeup testing day is going to be on June 3rd at 11 a.m. So again, if you can't make it and you need a makeup test day, they'll send you another code through your device. Now let's look at the actual exam itself. It's going to be 45 minutes. You're going to take it at home, one question, and I know we were hoping for SAQs, but they're going to instead give us a modified DBQ. And if we look at some of the ways that it's changed, they've got a new rubric here we're going to look at in a little bit. But the first thing I want to draw your attention to is they're going to give you 5 sources instead of 7, one of which is going to be a non-text-based source. That means you're going to get 4 text sources and one that's an image of some kind, either a political cartoon or an advertisement or a photograph, anything along those lines. Now the DBQ was only going to cover between units 3 and 8. So for this year's exam, it's only going to be 3 through 7. That's good. That means we're only going to have to review information from 1754 to 1945. So the American Revolution to the end of World War II. Now let's go look at the rubric and see what we need to do on the DBQ itself. First thing you should notice here is they've increased from 7 points to 10 points. So they've added some points here for this year's DBQ. And if we look through it, we see the thesis point and the contextualization point are still here. So you still need to do that one really good intro paragraph that has 3 to 4 sentences of context and then a thesis statement, right? So that's your 2 points for thesis and context. They're staying the same. Evidence is where we start to see things change here. So 1 point for using the content of at least 2 documents. This point originally came from describing 3 sources. Now you only have to describe 2. And if you go on beyond that to explain those documents, remember 1 sentence for describing it, 1 sentence for explaining the when, where, why, and how, that gets you another point, right? So if you do the strategy we were practicing in DBQ Bootcamp, 1 sentence description, 1 sentence explanation. You do that for 2 documents now. That's 2 points. If you use 4 out of the 5 documents, you get another point. Remember, the good strategy here for insurance policy is to use all 5, just in case. You're also going to have an extra point given for outside evidence. So remember, you get 1 point for using 1 piece of outside evidence. Here they're going to give you a second if you use another piece of outside evidence. So I think another good idea here would be to use 3, just see what happens. Okay, down here for our final few points, you only need to use the happy analysis on one of the documents. That's the first change here. You only need to explain the point of view, purpose, historical setting for 1 document. Again, we've been practicing that in class with doing it for all of our sources, so this shouldn't be a problem for you, and neither should this other point, doing it for a second document. So do happy for 2 documents for 2 points. And then finally at the end, we got our unicorn point. Remember, to get that point, you need to have context. You need to continuously compare your context to what you're arguing is happening in the essay. Remember, every DBQ, no matter what it says, is about change. And the way you prove change is by comparing it to point A. So your DBQ says America ends up in point B, and it comes from point A to point B. So you need to have context. You need to compare the context. You need to take a nuanced approach, some sort of opposition. That's your however paragraph, right? By the end of your DBQ, you need to say, all of this stuff previously mentioned was an example of change. However, for this group or in this particular way, there was something different. I can see how someone would think something differently, right? That's that however paragraph. And finally, at the end, you're going to want to extend your argument. At the last sentence or two of your DBQ, you need to go beyond the prompt time period and say, this is how this historical trend, political, economic, or social, continues in the future. What is the legacy of the change you are arguing in your DBQ? So that's the revised DBQ rubric. I think it's going to be a lot easier than what you guys are expecting. We're going to have plenty of time to review. Let me know in the comments down below through Remind or email or Google Classroom or whatever. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll see you all next time. Remember to wash your hands.